Hi, Cancerians. I hope that you're well. To all of my new subscribers, thank you guys so very much. Your support means everything to me, and the channel is really growing, and I'd love to keep going. So thank you for your support. It means everything. Also, once we get to 3,000 viewers, please, if you'd like, send me an email and enter your name for a draw for a free reading. I'm picking 3 names for 3,000. That being said, these are general messages. They're not going to resonate with everybody, so please just take what does and then leave the rest. If you want a private reading that's particular to your situation, please go ahead and book online, and you can find the link to my website in the description box below. To those of you who have sent donations, thank you so much. That really helps me and propels me forward to be able to continue buying new decks that I can share with you, and definitely it's so gracious of you. Thank you. So that being said, let's get into this. In the center of your read, you've got the healing card. So the key words for that card is to be human is to be wounded. That's very important. The healing card illustrates our third reason for being. However, it covers healing on several levels and does not necessarily suggest or imply that you are wounded or in need of healing, at least not on a conscious level. A happy, safe, and peaceful life does not always accord us with perfect health and well-being. Every person is vulnerable to disease, whether it manifests in a physical, mental, or emotional stress, or as a feeling of emptiness and longing that is born of spiritual wounds. Humans are part of a hierarchical race. We have a social order with elite and wealthy at the top and the uneducated and poor at the bottom. We are a species that is driven to win, with each of us striving to do better, to be better than the generation that came before. Those at the top want to stay there, and those at the bottom want to reach the top. We are goal-oriented and believe that success moves us forward and failure sets us back. We are on a perpetual quest to improve, whether it be our social standing, quality of life, or a simple desire to be a better person. We must be better. We must do better. But what is better? In our quest for betterment, are we making ourselves ill? In the simplest of terms, we often see success and failure in the same light as we do life and death. To succeed is to live, to fail is to die, or worse still, to descend into poverty, mediocrity, and obscurity. We become fixated on being the best, succeeding at all we do, and yet we may still fail to thrive. We may find we are not happy. We may find that we are not healthy. Sometimes we find that even when we do accomplish our goals and are rewarded with wealth and prosperity, we're not satisfied and crave more. Are we enduring and doing only what needs to be done in order to survive? Are we so fixated on acquiring possessions that we have forgotten that happiness and well-being begin within us? Are we truly living? There is often so much going on around us in our day-to-day lives that we disconnect from our body, our thoughts, and emotions to such an extreme that when somebody asks, "How are you?" we automatically say, "I'm well," regardless of our true feelings or whether we are physically well or not. To do this is an act of self-preservation and hides our vulnerability, our wariness, our dissatisfaction, and our disease from others. We may be afraid of being honest because to do so could reveal our weaknesses in a world where we must always be strong in order to survive and succeed. The sad truth is that we may not only be doing it in order to hide our true state from others, but to hide it from ourselves. The healing card symbolizes a need to reconnect and listen to what your body, mind, and feelings are telling you, to work with them instead of against them. Whether it be as simple as addressing a physical ailment or addressing that empty ache that comes from denying ourselves enjoyment and connection, this card signals that it is time to rip off the layers of illusion, the protective armor and the masks, and look at what lies beneath. Are you fulfilled? Do you love your life? Are you happy? Or do you need everything that you strive for in order to be happy? Are you living a fulfilling life that you love, or are you simply enduring and dying a little more each and every day? The healing card brings with it questions like these. It also asks you to look at your life and determine whether your path heals you or harms you. If it is the latter, the healing card reminds you that it is now in your power to change direction. That's huge. Okay, so that's at the very center of your reading. And it's interesting that we say that, or that it came out as it did in the center, because then what I see here is the Queen of Cups. So that's Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. That could be your energy. You may have been feeling over emotional as of late, or what you consider to be over emotional. Um, but believe it or not, your emotions do matter, because we can get sick if we stuff them down. And the way that she's looking at that cup, I feel as though she's almost shaming herself. But the truth of the matter is, she needs support. She needs someone to be gentle and kind with her and allow her to have these emotions. But most importantly, she needs to be able to express them, right? So I think that the divine is coming in here right now, especially with this healing card, and it's telling you to take a look at your emotions. It's telling you to take a look at your support systems and what you have around you. Are you feeling stuck to the point where you have so many ruminating thoughts spinning around that you're stuffing your emotions? If you notice your energy in your body, where is your conscious awareness? Is your energy focused in your mind, where you're just constantly think? That is actually an avoidance mechanism. And the reason why we do that is so that we can avoid feeling. But the problem with emotions is that if you see this cup, the more you stuff the emotions in it, eventually it blows up. And when it blows up, that's when healing comes in. That's when it's time that something needs to be done. And you know when something needs to be done by the fact that you're constantly in your head. You can't just be in the present moment because your thoughts are racing. So that is a manifestation of emotions building up to a point of bursting. Some might even go to the point or the extremity of trying to dull the emotions, and we do that by indulging in food, any type of addiction, food, drugs, alcohol, sex, clothing, shopping, money, whatever it is. But the thing is that those are only temporary gratification scenarios. So they'll make you happy in the moment, but they don't deal with the underlying problem. And the funny thing is that we are so afraid to process our emotions because I believe, and this is just my interpretation, as humans have been evolving for a few thousand years, I think it's only starting to get to the point now where people understand that we are so much more than our reptilian brains. So there's a lot of us that are still operating in that reptilian brain, which is just about survival. We don't think about the whole piece of it all, right? And the whole piece of it all is to learn to accept and embrace and utilize everything that we have. So it's to incorporate everything: mind, body, soul, and what's the other one? Mind, body, soul, and emotions. There we go. So there's the 4, right? But I feel like the emotions are being represented in this card by this red cloaked figure. It's like, oh, don't go there. Don't look at that. Don't look at that. But you have to. Otherwise, it has that potential to get dark and fulfill you. So now it's time for healing. And it's okay. If some of you feel confused, don't feel ashamed if you need to reach out to someone to help you find some clarity. It's actually a beautiful journey, and it's part of the Fool's journey, right? It's part of the Empress energy, that loving, nurturing side. It's almost representative of the Hermit. And I like how this actually looks a little bit like the Hermit. Looks wise. This is somebody that's got to go within now, because now it's time for introspection. It's time to see what our inner world has, as well as our outer worlds. So if you've been working on yourself as of late, the great news is you have amazing things coming for you in the near future. Now, if you haven't, Spirit is saying now is the time to love yourself and get in there. Get in. Don't be afraid, because it's only healing. And healing, you'll get back to, have you ever felt really good, where you just felt really balanced? Everything was just good. You were just in the present. That's what doing this work gets you back to. It's not scary, trust me. Or, well, it is at first, but once you go through it, you'll be, it's like, I don't know, taking a ride on a roller coaster for the first time, right? You're so scared, and then you do it and you're like, I want to do it again. That is what healing is about. Think of it as a roller coaster ride. Jump on and see what's amazing and see what you can find about yourself. Now, that's just for some of you. For the rest of you, you may have had some issues. You may have reconciled with someone from the past, or perhaps you were dealing with children. You've been busy. working on that. And some of you got to the point where maybe you just want to get a job now because you don't feel like staying at home, being a stay-at-home mom possibly, or a stay-at-home father. So I'm getting the feeling that some of you, for your own sanity's sake, because you want to be around more adults, or feel like you've got a lot to contribute, you might be applying for jobs. And if so, you're going to be getting a job. Because look at this. This is that Ace of Pentacles, which is a brand new beginning, right? So you might be signing a work contract. For others of you, you might actually get a few prospects. And if it's not to do with work, it could even be romantically, or you may get some offers or opportunities to do something with friends that involve travel, because you've got the Two of Wands here. So there's something at a distance, but you know what's exciting is it's going to make you very happy. In your future here, you have happiness coming, you have abundance coming. This is that peace that I was telling you about that you can achieve, right? And you can achieve it by just simply going in and dealing with the beauty that is, which is you, and straightening out all of these thoughts that may seem confusing, that are blocking the rest of your entire being as a whole. And the divine is here now. Spirit is here. You're on a spiritual journey right now. You just don't know it. So for those of you that might be getting an offer to go on a trip, that is exciting. I see a lot of water here, so it could be over the ocean. It could be to a lake of some sort. It could be around any body of water. I'm feeling boating. I don't know if you like to boat, but maybe you're planning this for next year once it starts to get warm. You guys are making your plans for the summer, or if you live in warmer climates, you might be spending time around the beach more, just sticking around water, because water is healing as well. Okay, and as you sit and you meditate around water, you start to feel whole again, right? Because you're able to release things, and some of you may even release your worries to the moon energy, because we're in a new moon cycle right now. But you've got beautiful energy coming in the future for you, as well as abundance and happiness. All right? So whatever's been plaguing you, there's great changes that are coming for you. And wow, I went to get you some advice, and look at the card that Spirit gave you. Surrender to the magic of who you are. We all have magic in us, even in the mundane aspects of life. Remember that you are a magical being with a uniqueness and worth that comes from being just you. So that is so important, because whatever the situation is, it's calling for you, like I said, to embrace every single bit of gift that you carry with every part of yourself, mind, body, spirit, and soul. So, and emotions, sorry. So this is really a self-quest, I feel like, at the moment. And it's one that's needed, because I feel like some of you have just been so trapped in these thoughts, and perhaps you were trapped in these thoughts because you were just doing what's always been expected of you. But now you've come to this point where you're like, you know what? What about my happiness? What about my contentment? Right? Maybe even some of you are going to become healers yourself. Because if there's anything the world needs right now, it's healers. And your message may be very unique and maybe somebody else's survival guide. Right? Let's get you an affirmation card. What do we got for those Cancerians? I am pure spirit. Yes, you are. I recognize the true beauty of my being. I am the spirit of love shining brightly. Oh, that's beautiful. And in order to recognize the true beauty of your being, you have to be willing to accept it all and incorporate all aspects of yourself. No more rejecting emotions. And Cancerians are good for that, because you've got that hard, tough exterior. But you know what? There's a reason why you need to get in touch with your emotions. One, for your health, but two, so that you can learn how to use them to help other people get in touch with theirs, right? It's just like every sign has a gift. So the swords are about communication and thought processes and cognitive functioning. The wands are about passion, creativity, and action. The pentacles are about manifesting materialism, things to make life more comfortable. And what are the water signs about? Utilizing the emotions, because our emotions guide us. They are actually our internal compass. That kind of does look like a compass, actually. So the one thing we need to do is teach people the importance of our most important element for the water signs, right? All right, I don't know if this manifested for anyone. I hope that it did. Please remember to give the video a like, as it helps to support the channel. I love you guys, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you so soon. Bye, Cancerians.